HJ47 Simon owns this. Simon only just recently bought it. Now it's early dash, I can't tell exactly what year. After 8th month 80, sometime in 71, but it's before disc brake and it's got the old dash, so one of the reasons it's in Mr Landcruiser, disc brake conversion. But now Simon owns this, and I said, Simon, oh, where does it come from? No idea. So he doesn't really know the history. He just knew a bargain when he saw one on the internet. So he snapped it up here in southeast Queensland. He told me the suburb, Brisbane somewhere, and has owned it for a very short time. Him and his son rang Mr Landcruiser up and said, oh, can I book it in for power steer? And lucky for Simon, we're on top of our work, had a bit of a cancellation, so he said, just bring it around there, we'll punch it out. And so he's brought it around, and I was chatting to him and I said, oh, what's it like to drive? How, you know, has he driven it much? Manual steer? And he goes, I bought it, I drove it home, I drove it straight to Mr Landcruiser. So he hasn't even driven the bloody thing. He is gonna wee-wee his pants when he jumps in this one. And he's done well. This one reminds me of myself. Bloody beautiful. It actually does. It's a nice specimen of a car. Now it's very plain, so we'll punch through it. The outside, the ARB bull bar. I should mention this one's had a restoration. He bought it, it's all painted. If we look closely, yeah, it's been in the Mr Landcruiser yard. There's some bird shit on it. We'll wash it before he picks it up. But I believe it's a cab off. There's been a few little modifications. When we had it engineered, I did notice, and so did the engineer of course, we noticed that it's an FJ45 frame and HJ47 cab, so it's a bitzer. Simon did say, the last gentleman, it was a project for him. The last owner, him and his son, they built it, they had a project, and then they sold it. So you can tell it's a bit of a bitzer, but it's still in lovely condition, and he's found a nice one. So yeah, the ARB bar up the front, alloy tray at the back. It looks like the headboards come after. Underneath, if we have a look underneath, there's a huge auxiliary fuel tank, so huge, it'd be really handy touring. It would be a bloody nightmare four-wheel drive and you'd have to remove that. But if he's gonna tour, drive it, have some fun, go to the dump, go for a latte, leave it alone, don't even touch it. So, and the wheels are Clever AT Kendra. What the? Never heard of them, but at least when you do a restoration, he's gone and put a set of 285s, 33 inches on there with the body lift and the suspension that sits so nicely. And we've got the sun raisers. I've got the same sun raisers on my 60, mine are neg 22. These aren't quite that deep, but geez, they look nice, those wheels. That's basically the outside, just an original looking later model 47. Now the body has been lifted, it's a little bit higher, so they've lifted that up. It gives it a stance and a look, which I really like. But let's go talk about the 2H. Look under the bonnet, she is really tidy. I tell you, when people buy cars and they bring cars around here and say, oh, it's only done 80,000, look at the clock. And but this one, looking at that paint, all that blue paint still on there, she hasn't been cooked. I'd say that's a low K engine. And when they've done the restoration, they've really tidied it up. Loom, I can tell by looking at the quality of the loom and the fact that it's got ACL written on it, that I can tell that's an ACL loom just by looking at it. So if you know about ACL, they haven't cut corners doing the restoration when you go out, and only the best. Original airbox has still been all kept. Now that's hooked up to a safari snorkel, not a bad idea. It's still supporting its shroud. Everything that should be in there is in there. It's got headers, and then you'll see a couple of Mr Landcruiser touches. So we've done the disc brake, which means we've done the booster upgrade, and we've done the power steer, so you can see the power steer reservoir there in its place. But that's it, short and sweet. It's bloody nice in here, and I parked it here, I reversed it into place. Power steer makes a difference. Now, I'm not sure by the time this video drops, our full power steer installment video from start to finish should have dropped. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then it hasn't, press the subscribe button, keep your eye open, because if you want to do this full power steer kit with Toyota part numbers and not so custom that you can't repair it on the side of the road, that is a video to watch out for. They're sort of, we're filming them at the same time, so they'll drop pretty similar. Richard's full power steer. But anyway, back to this 47. She's bloody clean. They've got the black duck seat covers and a new vinyl floor in there, and even some mats on top of that just to keep it tidy. I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's a GME stereo. There's no UHF handle, so I don't know if it does both. No, it's just an AM, FM, GME stereo. How cool is that? Australian company. I should put one in myself. Still got the old J07 dash. There's not a lot I can say when they're this clean and they haven't been that custom yet, but for Simon to just purchase this is a really, really nice blank canvas. When you buy yourself a piece of shit and say I'm going to do it up, sometimes things are missing and it's a hard, long road. Well, Simon can actually jump in this and enjoy it. You spend the money up front and have something really, really sweet. He's done the hood lining. I will mention, behind my head, roll bar. So I don't know why that's sick. I don't know legalities, I don't know nothing, I'm innocent. But that's a good idea. I wouldn't mind one in my car. Call it a sports bar or an accessory bar or something, so for legal reasons. But yeah, and it's actually housing the seatbelt. So there are extra mod plates on this car. Maybe it's that. It coming in for power steering. We mod plated the power steering. Okay, that's it. Oh, sorry if you can hear the background noise. Richard's actually up there putting a door in the container. It's been the, if you've watched our old walk around, you'd see a stairway that leads absolutely nowhere. So 6 months later, we've taken the time to throw a door. We're going to put a window in it and hide some car parts up there. So finally, so that's the noise in the background. But that's it. 1980, 81, HJ 47. We're going to test drive it now, go over what we've done, so within the next 24 hours, Simon can come and actually enjoy this. He came in here with his son, they're both enthusiasts, so it's time that they come and pick it up and just enjoy what it's like owning a HJ 47.